Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group The Evaders. We present about the Merbatty case study. Before I start, I will introduce my team members. The first one is Idayu binti Jamaluddin, Ainul Farahana Azwa binti Azul, Siti Nashakina binti Masda, dan Wan Nuraim binti Wan Abdul Mubin. I'm Siti Nashakina binti Masda, metric number A158221, represent about the introduction of the Merbatty case. First of all, I will introduce about the background of Merbatty case. Merbatty Company was established 33 years ago that were formed by the Merbatty chairman Alberto Vine. Merbatty developed a full interior design services in luxury boat building industry. Currently, Merbatty owns 2 boat building facilities where its head office based at Northern European and the second building located at the west coast of the USA. Merbatty has 5 years plan, including building a new branch of boat facilities, which is the third boat building to be built in Surania, which is located at Middle East country. Merbatty also devised 5 years plan in order to achieve the company milestone by 2017. However, there are some issues that occur and faced by the board of Merbatty in order to achieve a successful 5 years plan. Some of the issues that occur are the new design supplier for Surania, accident at work, racing boat, sales staff, JKL, and late delivery of a hull from top crease. These 6 major issues within expanding the new branch will be aimed to prioritize, analyze the current issue faced by Merbatty, and given some recommendation or evaluation on them based on each issues. Next, I will present about the SWOT analysis that used as strategic planning in order to identify the Merbatty strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats that related to business competition or project planning. The SWOT analysis is used at Merbatty is to determine how closely a business is aligned with its growth, and used to ascertain how well a 5 years project or plan is performing according to its internal or external factors. The first strength in Merbatty are the brand reliability. This is because the company show a good reputation throughout the year for the past more than 13 years. This shows that the company has a strong and creative leadership, which become the strength to the company. Merbatty also has a strong brand name, which shows that the company has more than 33 years in the business market, in the rapid sale and profitability in the recent years. The second strength in Merbatty are the experienced sales agent. This is because through sales agent, Merbatty able to generate and discover sales and business worldwide, given the raising sales of Merbatty for over 10% each year for the past 12 years. Next, the second analysis are the weakness, which is to rely on supplier. This is because Merbatty are rely on very few suppliers and are the only handful supplier to their product, which will be risky to product competition. Merbatty should make a backup plan with a number of suppliers in case there is a problem with one supplier. The second weakness in Merbatty are the long lead time. This is because Merbatty also exposed to have a delay in receiving their raw material from the supplier. Hence, this will increase the cost as the company has to pay the employee even at idle time. Next are the opportunity. The opportunity are the market development. This is because Merbatty has opportunity to have a wider range of product or design, as well as to increase the demand of customers. Merbatty has to compete with many competitors that also sell the same services as provided by the company, which is the luxury interior design boat building. That is why it is important for the company to make a research or improvement to their services to stay competitive in the market. Lastly, the threat is the market demand. This becomes a threat because it is something that company can't control, which is the changing attitude of customers toward the company. Because customers tend to change their attitude towards social trend, which could affect the demand of boat, as the customer lose interest in selling the boat.
My name is Noidaya binti Jamaluddin, A158047. First issue that the board of Merbatty face is new design supplier for Suranya. Merbatty board approved the proposal to open a third boat building facility located in Suranya. This new boat building facility is nearing completion and it will open in February 2014. But the issue of the interior design supplier remain unresolved. They had a problem to choose either Cooper Design or Arabian Interiors. Lucas Dian, Technical Director Design, has gathered some background information on two potential design companies to analyze which one is the best company to work with. Analysis of the issue is Cooper Design has some advantage, which is Cooper Design has a great reputation because it is a multinational boat interior design business based in Western Europe. Cooper Design also provide traditional design on high quality and modernize their design. This company is also recognized internationally because it won the best modern design at recent Dubai International Boat Show in 2013. Moreover, it also uses computer design technique (CAD) and provides an extranet service. But some disadvantage is Cooper Design office is 200 miles from the Suranya boat building facility and it's quite far. Range of design fee is 100k for a type medium-sized boat. While Merbatty's advantage if choose Arabian Interior because Arabian Interior is a Suranya-based design business firm for over 4 years. Their office was also close to the Suranya boat building facility. This company won recognition at the 2013 Dubai International Boat Show. Besides, they have wealthy and well-connected sheikh and can spend limitless funds for expansion if needed. Arabian has only local people, but all of them are well educated and fully trained. They also use the latest CAD and design fees would be around 90k less than Cooper Designs. The disadvantage if Merbatty choose this company is there's no customer interaction and this company is newly formed. After doing some analysis, Merbatty should choose Cooper Design as their supplier. This is because Merbatty needs to get the opportunity to work with multinational boat design business to expand their business and to build reputation. Besides, Merbatty cannot deny that Cooper has a long history of delivering traditional and modern on high quality design. This shows that Merbatty can stay in the market even in the competitive environment. Merbatty needs to get the best quality design that is different from others. Moreover, even Arabian Interior will provide help and local contact to Merbatty. Merbatty did not have a problem if they choose Cooper Design because Merbatty already has a sales agent located in Suranya who has been selling Merbatty boat for over 15 years, who will continue to generate sales through his established reputation and contact. Even though Cooper Design is costly than Arabian Interior, Merbatty need to see in the long-term view because Cooper Design will provide high-quality design and they also have the spare capacity to design for all of the Merbatty boat wherever they might be built. Second issue is accident at work. Paulo fell down onto a hall while he was walking and broke his leg. This because he was arrived at work with high level on drugs. However, he managed to avoid his colleagues and doing his job as usual. But Jasper, director of the company, was aware of Paulo's occasional recreation drug taking habit. Even though Paulo is a good friend of Jasper, Jasper decided to ignore it because Jasper knows that Paulo has not allowed his habit to interfere his work. Next, Paulo's use of drug will lead to a serious ethical issue to Merbatty's reputation. There are a few analyses of the issues that Merbatty needs to solve the problems. First, when management know that Paulo occasional recreation drug taking habit, Paulo will get a punishment or suspension from his work. Besides, conflict of interest will happen because this relationship will make Jasper's judgment toward Paulo may have been compromised. When this happens, employee will feel unfair that friend of director have privilege and can do whatever they want even it is illegal. Lastly, if this accident exposed to media and investor, it will affect Merbatty reputation. Merbatty reputation might be tainted if this issue is not resolved. This accident can expose that Merbatty had poor human resources management. Merbatty should take an action to prevent unexpected problems in the future. There are a few recommendations that Merbatty needs to focus on. First, Merbatty needs to educate employee and management staff. Employee needs to be trained about importance of safety and health measures as often as possible for their awareness. Second, Merbatty needs to strengthen internal control and management such as physical control. Merbatty needs to tighten the procedure to restrict certain area in the body facility to the specific authorized person. Management control. Supervision control by manager is very important to discover risks existing at the workplace in time. Human resources control. Human resources should implement control for all aspects such as verified qualification, reference, and criminal record check before recruit someone. Third, Merbatty needs to increase the security and routinely check their employee. The security management need to ensure that employees follow the dress code for their safety while working and routinely check their employee before entering the facility such as healthy and physical confirmation.
My name is Wan Norain binti Wan Abdul Mubin, A158624. I will explain the third and fifth scenario in Merbatty case, which are racing boats and JKL. The racing boat issue is about Jasper Blank, who is a marketing director in Merbatty, wants to build and race a speedboat in the competition for a period of 2 years. As stated in the case, Merbatty is the principal sponsor to a major global speedboat race organizer which costs 5 million per annum. Jasper Blank wants to build and race a speedboat in the competition for a period of 2 years, but if successful, he wants to continue it and develop into Merbatty, selling its own range of speedboats. He confidently argued that his plan would lead to more sales of Merbatty's performance motorboats, the P3000 specifically. He also has done some calculations on P3000 costing. However, this development dismayed his father, Alberto Blanc, who is the chairman of Merbatty. Alberto feels that the design, development and build costs of the boat could easily be 12 million with no guarantee of success in the races nor any definite extra sales of the P3000. According to Alberto, the initial investment of the development will cost 20 million and 8 million for the following years. There are some advantages that Merbatty will gain if they proceed with Jasper's proposal. If Merbatty build and race a speedboat in the competition for a period of 2 years, their sales will increase and their brand will be well known as Merbatty is more competitive globally. In addition, Merbatty could expand their cash worldwide and more investors might invest in their company. However, there are also a list of disadvantages in this investment of the development. Merbatty's reputation is at risk because it will affect the secure funds for growth for the coming 5 years. Plus, there is no guarantee of success in the races nor any definite extra sales of the boat. This development needs extra expenditure costs and the building of the boats specifically are causing a high cost. Merbatty needs to sell at least 20 boats in 2 years in order to gain profit from this new development.
For calculation, the total design, development and build costs are 12 million euro. The total travel, accommodation and direct engineer costs are 8 million euro. To find contribution margin, selling price per unit must be minus with variable cost per unit. In variable cost per unit, it contains hull and other materials plus direct labor plus supervision and management time. Total contribution margin is 1.4 million euro. To find break-even point in unit, total fixed cost must be divided with contribution margin. The total fixed costs are from design, development and build costs and travel, accommodation and direct engineer costs. The total break-even point in unit is 20 boats for 2 years. Merbatty should have to sell 20 boats for 2 years to increase sales of Merbatty's performance motorboats, the P3000 specifically.
One of the risk factors is the decreased opportunity for other new investments. The new development of 20 million for speedboat will affect the secure funds for growth for the coming 5 years. The loss might be incurred and it is hard to be covered. Based on the analysis, Merbatty should not accept Jasper's proposal of new development because they should not invest in the competition that has a high percentage of risk. In addition, Merbatty is the principal sponsor of the event for 5 years. Plus, by referring to the analysis of Merbatty's range of boats and the graph of number of boats sold in 2012, this clearly shows that P3000 are the lowest type of boats that have been sold among the others P series. Although Merbatty has many satisfied clients, it does not mean that Merbatty will succeed in this new development. Merbatty should continue to sponsor the competition as it will generate a lot of positive public relations and have helped to increase Merbatty's brand recognition. In addition, Merbatty should empower the advertising gained from this sponsorship, especially for the Suranian branch, which is the new branch that located in the Middle East.
Hi, I'm Sidhan Shagina. Event 8221 represent about the fourth scenario, which is sales staff. The issues in this scenario are whether to continue the contract with sales agent or to hire full-time sales staff. There are two main points that form two different persons. First one is Stephen Gill. He preferred the sales agent rather than sales staff. In Stephen Gill's agreement, he values sales agent more because the motivated and the dedication of sales agent to sell the boat, as that is how they get paid. It was because the sales agent have contributed to the growth of Merbatty during the recession that was going on in Europe. Lastly, Stephen Gill valued the good relationship with sales agent. From Mary Luke's point of view, she preferred to hire full-time sales staff. In Mary Luke's agreement, Merbatty must change according to the change that happened surrounding them. Mary Luke also suggested to widen the distribution of sales that we focus on the majority sales of the boat. Lastly, Mary Luke fully supports the idea of employing the sales staff. Next, we will focus on the sales agent. The first endorsement on Stephen Gill's opinion are sales agents have more knowledge on demographic and industry culture. The This is because sales agent has been dealing with large number of customers, so they have better understanding dealing with customers that have different culture and demographic. Second, sales agents tend to have strong relationship with the customer and the global contact. Hence, sales agent was portraying an important figure as the middle person because they were dealing with the customer worldwide. Lastly, sales agents tend to have more experience. This is because sales agent has been dealing with the Merbatty customer for years, so they become expert in selling the boat worldwide. Next is the opposition on Stephen Gill's point. First, sales agents tend to focus on selling the smaller and the cheaper boat. Sales agent not focusing on selling the large size boat because it was harder to sell the large size rather than the smaller size. Then some agents are also working with another company, which is the rival company. This shows that the sales agent has less loyalty because they are not the workers. Next, sales agents are independent and hard to control. This is because sales agents are not the real employees and they can make their own decisions such as the price for the product. This shows that the sales agent can influence the prices too. Next, we will be moving on the endorsement and the opposition on Mary Luke's point of view. The first endorsement in sales staff is they are working for Merbatty. This can make Merbatty to have a committed, loyal, and can fully control the activity of their workers. Second, sales staff are more committed and more reliable employees. It's because sales staff will work hard in order to gain recognition or being promoted. Third is because the sales staff are more valuable resources for advice on sales techniques and ways to overcome the customer challenge. Lastly, customers can be accommodated in a larger number. This will make the Merbatty the only one that can control and dealing with the customer and not the sales agent. Next is the opposition on Mary Luke's opinion. First, the fixed cost on monthly paycheck to employee can be costly. Second is the less exposure on customer target market. This is because sales staff has little knowledge in dealing with customers with certain area and not the worldwide. Lastly, it will be quite challenging for sales staff to adapt with a new industry culture compared to sales agent. Recommendation: Merbatty should retain few established sales agents and hire sales staff. This is because the company will successfully in both its internal and external prospect of sales. Sales agent can help Merbatty to keep the demand globally, while sales staff can focus on local according to strategic location and can focus on marketing strategy. In conclusion, Merbatty should keep both sales agent and sales staff because they have their own separate job scope, which totally different, but each of it will be benefit to the company.
For the next scenario, JKL is the biggest investor in Merbatty, which holds 28% shares of the company. JKL purchased 50.4 million shares at a cost of over 140 million as it considers that Merbatty's growth to date and its range of products, together with its potential for the future, will lead to a substantial return on its investment. Simon, an investor director of JKL, is concerned that Alberto views Merbatty as his own property to do as he wishes. This is because Alberto strongly believes in the principle of charity. He encouraged every employee to spend 2 to 6 months seconded from Merbatty on full pay to undertake charity work. Merbatty receives significant publicity from Alberto's charitable work. The problem arose when Simon was supposed to be visiting Andreas, who is the financial director of Merbatty, but due to a diary mix-up found, he was not on the premises when she arrived. Andreas was out for one of his many charitable visits. It confirmed Simon's belief that Alberto views Merbatty as his own property to do as he wishes. She also has calculated that charitable work has cost the business 5 man-years of time in 2012 alone. Based on the scenario, it shows that Merbatty has ethical issues such as charity, duty of care towards JKL, and professional behavior. Simon's trust issue will affect the investment in Merbatty. These problems will put Merbatty at a high-risk position because JKL is the biggest investor in Merbatty. Based on Simon's perspective about Arbeto's views of Merbatty, it shows that Merbatty should strengthen the communication with its shareholders. Board members should collectively appoint a person on board who would be responsible for maintaining Merbatty's relationship with JKL and communicate all matters of concern. Lack of communication will cause problems in the future. In addition, Alberto should explain the main concept and benefits of charitable work to the company with its shareholders. Alberto also needs to act in the interest of the company to maximize the profitability of the company and shareholders and not to his personal desire. Alberto needs to consider the position of shareholders as the essential owners of the company and prioritize them rather than doing charitable work. Last but not least, Merbatty needs to specify the exact number of working hours that an employee should devote for charity work.
Next, I will explain the last issue, which is the late delivery of a hull from Topcrest. Before deep discussion of the issue, I will explain the summary of the issue, which is Topcrest is a manufacturer of boat hulls and has been in a mutual relationship with Merbatty for 20 years. Topcrest has ranked as one of the top 3 hull manufacturers in the world. However, Topcrest has been so successful that leads to the failure of coping with demand for its hull. Then Merbatty's order should be delivered on 1st December 2013, but being expected to be 2 months late. Hence, Merbatty's normal operating procedure was affected and it was assumed that delivery to Merbatty's customer, which is Mediterranean Mooring, will be 2 months late too. Next, the impact of the issue to the Merbatty is categorized into two, which is operation and finance. Firstly, due to the delay of the hull delivery, Merbatty need to change their operation planning. In normal cases, on 1st April, Merbatty can focus on another customer's order. Unfortunately, Merbatty has to delay their operation time in finishing Mediterranean Mooring's order. Meanwhile, from financial aspect, Merbatty will receive revenue from Mediterranean Mooring 2 months late than expected, and Merbatty also had to spend more on salary expenses due to the time spent for waiting the hull delivery. Due to the issue, Merbatty's procurement director, which is Paul Levy, has found another supplier. However, Topcrest also has offered to compensate Merbatty. Firstly, Topcrest offered to pay €30 per hour for any idle time created by the delay. Secondly, Topcrest will refund the discount €25,000 given to Merbatty's customer due to the late delivery. And Topcrest will pay an extra share payment of $30,000 by way of an apology. Due to the Topcrest compensation offer, the calculation has been made. For Topcrest offer, employee involvement was calculated by multiplying 1,940 with 5% equals to 97 employees. 1,940 is the total skilled technician, while 5% is the percentage estimates of employees will be idle. Then, idle time is 152 hours times 2 months times 10% equals to 30.4 hours. 152 hours is the average work hours per month, and 10% is the percentage of estimates time of idle, and 2 months is the waiting time. Next is cost of compensation by Topcrest is by multiplying €30 per hours with 30.4 hours and 97 employees equal to €88,464. €30 is the price offered by Topcrest. Meanwhile, cost of idle time normal wages is by multiplying €18 with 30.4 hours and 97 employees equal to €53,078. €18 is the normal wage rate. Hence, to find profit or loss, we need to find the difference between cost of idle time of Topcrest offer with cost of idle time normal wages equals to €35,385. Then subtract it with customer discount 25,000 and adding 30,000 of ex gratia, equally to €40,385. Then the calculation for other supplier. We also need to calculate employee involvement and the idle time
for other supplier is 152 hours times 1.5 months times 10% equal to 22.8 hours. 1.5 months is the waiting time for another supplier. The cost of idle time normal wages is by multiplying 18 euros with 22.8 hours and 97 employees equal to 39,808 euros. Hence, to find profit or loss, we need to sum up cost of idle time normal wages and additional costs. 50,000 equals to 89,808 euros.
From the calculation made, Merbatty should accept the offer and apologize from Top Press as they have been in a mutual relationship for 20 years. Merbatty should not find a new supplier as new supplier is not guaranteed a high quality supplier such as Top Press. However, Merbatty should take a precaution step such as making a short-term agreement with Top Press. This strategy is known as backward integration strategy. Lastly, the conclusion is Merbatty should choose corporate design as Merbatty need to see in long-term view to expand their business and influence. For our second issue, Merbatty should take action and implement new rules to prevent problems in the future. Next, Merbatty should not accept Jasper's proposal of new development as it has higher percentage of risk. For first issue, Merbatty should keep both staff sales and agent sales as they have their own separate job scope that will benefit the company. Then, Merbatty should strengthen the communication with its shareholder. Lastly, Merbatty should accept Top Press offer, but Merbatty also need to take a precaution step. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.